Hello everyone, this is Geeman, and today I will be going over some things that have been requested that I go over. For those of you who are new to Western hunting and aren't sure how to really get into it, I'm going to be showing you the things that I look for, the things that I do when I'm preparing to go on a hunt, and maybe you can take some of these things for yourself and go on some good hunts. I'll be going over the state of Wyoming because that is the one that I have the most experience in. And honestly, the things that you learn here, you can take to other states too, and this information can help you there. So this is going to be the first episode in, there'll be a few different parts, but in this one I'll just kind of give a brief overview of the things I plan on explaining, as well as just kind of breaking down the Wyoming draw process, as it is a little bit complicated for non-residents, so I'll be going over that as well. First of all, I'm here at the Wyoming Game and Fish Department website. This will be the primary tool that I use. I don't plan on using any paid tools like Go Hunt. I want this to specifically be something that, maybe you don't want to spend that, I think it's $150 for a year of Go Hunt. And maybe you just, you want to do this and figure out the information for yourself. There's nothing wrong with Go Hunt. It's a lot less time consuming, but maybe you don't want to spend that money. So just to follow along with me here, you might want to bookmark this page. It's wgfd.wyo.gov/hunting. I've got that among many other states bookmarked here, so just follow along and I'll show you what I do. So first things first, the things that I plan on covering in this series are how preference points work, how to buy preference points, the draw deadlines, how the draw works, the things that I look for, draw odds, harvest success rates, percentage of public land. There's more detailed information in the specific region job reports that I look at, but I'll get to all that once I get through the basics here. So first things first, as a non-resident, when you're applying for elk, deer, or antelope, these are the three species that I plan on covering. I haven't put any research into moose, bison, sheep, and predator species. But with elk, deer, and antelope, non-residents get 15% of the total allocation of elk tags and 20% of all deer and antelope tags. So the way that Wyoming's different from a lot of other states, many other states give non-residents up to 10%, like Arizona. You're not guaranteed to get 10% of the tags as non-residents. If there's 20 total tags, you can have an opportunity as a non-resident to get the two tags that would be available, but sometimes they all go to residents. So with Wyoming, your 15% and your 20% are already set aside. You're not applying in the same pool as residents, unlike many other states. So when you're looking at your quotas as a non-resident, the 15 and 20% is already taken into account, so you don't really need to worry about that. And the way that this works is 60% of the elk, deer, and antelope tags that are allocated for non-residents, that goes into the regular draw, and 40% goes into the special draw. The difference here is they are the same tag. However, in the regular draw, you're paying the normal price, and in the special draw, you're paying roughly 40% more to, I don't even think my math is right there. It's somewhere around that. Or no, I don't know. I'm not good at math. It's nearly double what you would pay in the regular draw, so I guess that would be like 80 or 90%. It's nearly double what you would pay in the regular draw, but the trade-off here is you have better draw odds. You can potentially draw some more coveted units with less points. So honestly, it's a good thing to kind of balance. If you're looking at a unit that may take, let's say, 8 points to draw, if you go into the special draw, it might take 3 points to draw. So you're weighing your investment there because the extra 5-6 years that it would take you to get up to 8 or 9 points, that's a lot of money to spend on preference points over that amount of time. You factor that in, you're paying a little bit extra in the special draw, but you're also saving money on points. So it's not quite as expensive as it seems at first when you factor in the amount of points it may take to draw in the regular draw. So it's a good option for those of you who want to go and you want to go soon and maybe go into a little better unit. So basically, like I said, 60% regular, 40% special. From there, 75% in each pool goes to whoever has the most preference points. So it goes down, say someone's got 8 points, they draw. There's a few guys with 7, they draw. You get down to 6, maybe not all of those people draw. It's just whoever has the most points, and then if there's more people at a point total than there are tags, then there's a chance you may draw, there's a chance you may not. And then 25% of the remaining tags go to the random draw. Everyone's got a chance here. For example, in the elk general draw, in the regular portion, you've got roughly a 15% chance of drawing in the random draw. So that's the good thing about Wyoming. Although they have gone to a preference point system, which is a bit difficult if you're new to the game and you're trying to get into it. It may take you a handful of years to draw a tag. If you want to just apply every year and play your odds in the random draw, you're going to draw eventually. And, at the point that we're at now with the general tag, next year it's going to take 3 points to draw it. And by the time you've got 3 points, it'll probably take you to 4 points to draw it. So if you really want to go elk hunting, just keep applying, and you got a pretty decent chance of drawing in the random draw. So just to illustrate that, there's 100 tags total, 60 go to regular, 40 go to special. Of the 60 that went to the regular, 45 go to points, 15 goes to randoms, and in the 40 special draw, 30 go to preference points, and 10 go to random. So that's just a brief overview of how this works. Again, that's the great thing about Wyoming is you've got some chance no matter what, and that's more than a lot of states have. Arizona, you have a chance. New Mexico and Idaho don't even have preference point systems, so you've always got a chance to draw there. But a lot of these other states that are preference point only systems, essentially, in Colorado they have the over-the-counter tag, but if you want to go in a limited entry unit, it's all preference point. Montana is the same way. They actually have a couple different systems. There's preference and bonus points, I believe, where in Montana, one is specifically for their general tag, and then there's a preference point pool that's for all their limited entry units. So from there, we'll take a quick look at the deadlines, and these are as of 2019. They are subject to change, especially because they're talking about some changes in the elk application process. So in 2019, the elk application period was January 2nd through the 31st. Your results were available February 21st, which is the third Thursday in February. I think that's right around where they would always have it, was that third Thursday. However, potentially starting next year, there's a chance that the results will be available at the same time as the deer and antelope results, which it's annoying because I don't think they're planning on changing the application period. So they're going to hold your money for 4 months, and it makes it hard to apply to other states unless you're dead set, okay, I'm going to Wyoming in archery. I'm going on these dates, or I'm going to Wyoming for the rifle hunt, because a lot of these units allow you to do both. You can buy a special archery permit, go and hunt that season, and then you can go back when the rifle season starts, and your tag is still good for that. There's not many states that let you do that. They usually You have to pick one season or the other. There are some units, specifically in the Bighorn Mountains in Wyoming, where there's an archery permit, and then there's your other type 1 or whatever permits. So yeah, they're talking about changing that, which is a bit frustrating, finding out if you're going elk hunting, June 20th or so. Makes it hard to really plan a trip around, because unless you've got a good shot with the amount of points that you have, it's hard to really plan on going. So with that, the deer and antelope application period is January 2nd to May 31st. Again, this is in 2019. And your results were available June 20th. So this was kind of what I was hoping they would do. If they are so dead set on moving the results of elk to the same time as deer and antelope, I was hoping they'd at least have your application window last as long, from January 2nd to May 31st. But that doesn't seem like the case. So let's say you miss all the deadlines, you can't apply. You still have a chance to get a preference point. I think Wyoming's really the only state that does this, where you can buy preference points at a different time from the draw. Usually during the draw period, you have to get your preference points. Then some states require you to buy a hunting license to buy a point. Some states require you to apply for a tag. If you don't draw it, then you get a point. So Wyoming really is a cheaper option for stockpiling points, and you can do that from July 1st to October 30th. Geez, I cannot talk. From July 1st to October 31st. That's your period to buy your preference points. Preference points for every species are available at that point. So that's definitely a good date to remember and mark on your calendar so you don't forget. And that'll be, just within a week or so. Now, one other thing I want to talk about. As a non-resident in Wyoming, you cannot hunt any of the designated wilderness areas in Wyoming. Wyoming is the only state that does this. I won't get too far into it. I think a lot of it is BS. It's basically areas that Wyoming deems that as a non-resident you're not capable of hunting by yourself, and I don't know. It gets pretty political. It's more or less giving outfitters a place to kind of have an exclusive area, more or less, to take their non-resident clients. Although residents can still hunt it, it still gets pressured. It may get pressured even more than a lot of non-wilderness areas do. But that's just something to keep an eye out for. If you're looking at units that are, say, in the northwest corner of Wyoming, some of them are all wilderness areas. You may be looking at your harvest success, and you're thinking, man, the thoroughfare unit, it's got like a 55% success rate. Well, the reason why is non-residents can't hunt it without a guide. So you've got a lot of guided hunters, you've got a lot of residents in there, and success rates are high because of that. So hopefully this gives you a good general idea of how the draw process works. You kind of know what to look for in avoiding wilderness areas, and this will help you understand the dates and deadlines so you don't miss it when that time comes. Again, like I said, the preference point period begins in about a week. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And then once January gets here, the other application periods will open up. So anyway, I hope you learned something here. Let me know if you do want me to continue with this. And I'll do my best to keep working on these and trying to stockpile some information and make some notes so I don't sound like an idiot. So basically, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.